Okay, this is part two of a series, and I'm going to start to take this a little bit more seriously now. Mainly because Trump is the winner by far and has beaten Kamala Harris. And I was hoping that Wisconsin would stay blue. The far right juggernaut is what it is. Has a two-step approach to distract and recruit members. I really had no idea how powerful they really are. And last night sort of proved that point. They are very far reaching. They have a base, and Trump knows the base so well. You think he's playing checkers, but he's really playing chess. And I don't care how stupid he may appear. He may appear as a savant, not rational in the head. But he's got a group of people that their shelf lives are very, very short when they're around him. And I'm banking on this to be the big major weakness for the next 4 years for Donald Trump, because when you do outlast your usefulness, chances are, now since he's already divided and conquered the Democratic Party, now will he do it again with his base inside his new administration? Will you see the same faces like Steve Miller or the Amway Betsy DeVos possibly coming back? Absolutely. Will I see the dismantling of the Department of Education? I think so. I don't know how people can see the damage it has caused. So what's going to happen with the Department of Education? What's going to end up happening? He's going to be outsourcing those student loans to all the banks, privatized banks, and they're going to charge some outlandish interest rates. So what's going to end up happening? I think I know what's going to happen. I know there's been a trend lately from high school, and I can't verify it for a fact, but most of those colleges are going to end up closing. And most of those students are going to end up going into trades, trade apprenticeships and stuff like that, in that in that area, which is a good thing, which means this is pay as you go and not a lot of student loans. And guess what? That could end up drying up a lot of money in the student loan industry, which is toxic anyway. So, do you think Bernie Sanders is going to last another 6 years? No. Mitch McConnell? No. Nancy Pelosi? No. Chuck Schumer? No. Adam Schiff? 50-50. So once Department of Education is kind of like annihilated, it's going to get destroyed. I mean, obliterated, gutted. To a few companies. The IRS, same thing. What else is going to get annihilated? I want to say the Department of Transportation, and I want to say the Department of Veteran Affairs, in which by no means is going to get it outsourced to private sector to help veterans. So what they're going to do is take taxpayer money, the veterans, Department of Veterans Affairs, are going to cram it into this little ball and just outsource that department into private firms, banks, etc., etc. So basically, you will not have the backing of the government, Department of Treasury. Ooh, that's the third rail. That's good. You can't really print money. You can't keep on printing money until all the cows come home. So what's going to happen to the GDP? It's going to tank. I don't know what the GDP is for the United States is, but it may get knocked down to 2 or 3 or 4 points. Everything Trump touches is toxic. So from a policy point of view, a lot of the housing market is going to burst. The banking industry is going to ask for a handout. And guess what? We're going to be settled with the debt again. And those banks are going to get forgiven, and we have to bail them out. To all the MAGA folks out there, come to this page. And I know this is just a small page. This is just a diary of my thoughts. That's all this is. If you're MAGA, you're stupid. You voted against your interests. So what do the Democrats do? They should do absolutely nothing since they're useless anyway. They're so caught up to rearranging the chairs on the Titanic. They don't know what's up or down. But the few people that are out there, Tim Walz, possibly if I look at him, who's the most popular of them all, even during the campaign, he sticks out like a sore thumb And it makes a lot of common sense, and we need more people like him in Congress. And you look at him, he's a freaking Boy Scout. It makes sense. You put him on the national stage for the next 4 years. You get him to recruit new talent in the state, Congress, and Senates throughout the nation, regardless of if it's a red state or blue state. To get new talent and just fill those seats. That was a 40-year plan. That was came up for the 1960s for the Republican Party. Now look how deep seated and rooted it is, and it's going from this 1960 all the way here to the right. That's a lot of something to think about. Some people are not into politics, and most of the young people are. They're looking at the people who are 20, 30, 40 years older than they are. And looking like, so I don't want to vote for these people, these old fogies. They just only care for themselves, and which is true. If you have $1 billion backer, Kamala Harris is yesterday's news as of today. She's done. What's she going to do? I'm willing to bet she might just run for the governorship of California. That's how popular she is. Now she's going to go up against Nancy Pelosi and Gavin Newsom. So what's going to end up happening? And I see this is what's going to happen. You take the mouth of Tim Walz in the state of Minnesota, and you export his ideas to the state of California and all of the West Coast. You'll see major shifts. What else you'll see there? California talking about dividing into 3 separate states: northern, middle, and southern California, where Los Angeles, San Francisco, and upper part of anything that's above San Francisco, that's going to be some major shifts into getting the blessing of the state of California into dividing, and we'll have a national backing. And then you have Puerto Rico. There will be a push. If not, to go one of 2 ways. Either make it a separate country, make it an ally of the United States, or make it a state altogether. So you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4 new states in the next 20 years. So go from like 100 to 104 senators. So since there'll be like 104 divided by what? 2, that's 5, 10, 52, be like, I think I did this wrong. 4 states. That means 2 senators. That'd be 8 senators. So you have a total of 58 seats. In a likely scenario, 2028 and beyond. So there might be an initiative in the state of California to push for that. Why? So it would tip the scales in favor of the Senate and Congress. So you'll take another state like the state of Texas. Unlikely scenario. But if you take like bright blue splotches like Houston, which is, I believe, is number 6 is the most populated city in the United States, number 6, and you take that plus everything east of Houston, make that East Texas. So that would make that 60 states. So that being said, and you include Puerto Rico, you will have 5 new states in the union. Because there's no doubt in my mind that the model that we have is not working to help the Democratic Party. So what's going to happen with the Supreme Court? Now, Donald Trump has made it quite clear that he wanted 2 more new justices in the Supreme Court. The thing we have now is like 3 Democratic winning Supreme Court justices. What's that going to do? I tell you, I don't think the women voters came out in troves. I really doubt it. I can't give Kamala credit for something that should have been done over a year ago. Biden had his big mouth. I didn't think he wanted Kamala to win. And I think I know why. He was jealous. He was hoping to have a second term. But the cognitive thinking for Biden was so damn blatantly. He was not there. I wish he was. So what's going to happen to Amtrak? I don't think you'll see much of rail service anymore. Sorry. You know what? People are going to want that is people from states like Montana, Wyoming, Nebraska, Kansas, and Colorado, because there's no way to get to and from to where they're going because there's not much of a population base out there. You know, they vote true red. So 5 new states should be the talk in the states of looking at what's happening in Congress and in the Senate right now as of January 20th. And it should be the talk, and it should be running wild over social media. Puerto Rico, California split into 3 states. Now, what's the other one? East Texas. I knew this election was over before I even turned on the television. Republican is a well-oiled machine. They will lie, say they're not, but they are. They may say they have lost a lot of money, but there's always somebody else that they're to come behind and finance, and did finance Donald Trump. So many doors left them. So what? You can go through a Rolodex and try to find money somewhere from somebody at any time and anywhere, and to fill that void, just to keep that that juggernaut keep on moving. So if it's up to me, and I was leading the Democratic Party, I'd be talking to the leaders in the state of California and the state of East Texas, in the city of Houston, and Puerto Rico to talk about statehood and just drop it like a big bomb. And there's going to be opposition to it. All they have to do is just break laws just like Trump did. So who cares about the rule of law? He got away with it. He got away with a lot of shit. Why can't they? If he did it, so can I. And that should be the theme for the next 4 years. There's going to be many other themes. So what am I to say?